Hello, welcome to Pantheon of the Geeks. This is an unboxing video for the Adeptus Mechanicus Onager Dunecrawler. There you go. So here is the box. So we picked up one of these from Games Workshop.
Yeah.
There's the back of the box with the Icarus array. I'm not decided which weapon I'm going to put on it. I'm going to see what sort of options we've got for magnetising when I get in there. But let's go inside, see what it looks like. Ooh. So I think this is the last of the Adeptus Mechanicus releases. At least for now. Martian crab. Or donkey, whichever one you want to call it. There you go, there's the instructions. So we've got a big round base. Well, there you go.
Cool.
I think I've got one of them. Oh yeah, we have.
Have we?
Is the Tyrannosaurus on one of them? Or is that a small one?
I think it's a small one.
Is that a new base?
We did this last time.
I know,
and we argued over whether it's a new base or not.
I can never decide. So we've got some transfers, which is the same as the other transfers from the other box sets. And here's the sprues. So it's 3 sprues. Okay, so sprue number 1, which looks like the turret parts, attachments and everything. We've got
sprue number 2.
So 2 looks like weapon systems. Interesting, cool. Right, and sprue number 3 looks like the legs,
yeah,
components. There we go. It's actually a pretty ordered looking sprue.
Again, yeah.
Yeah. Everything seems to be
well ordered and well set out.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So we shall build this thing now. So that's 1 through 5 regardless of what you're going to build it as. We'll start with the walls.
Okay.
Feature.
Would you like to pass me the clippers?
There you go.
Can be dangerous with the clippers.
Yeah. So it looks like we build the legs individually.
Okay.
And then we stick them all together, makes sense, onto that 4.
That thing.
Way base
oh, that
there.
thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So it does look pretty straightforward from this, but we'll make a start. So we want 76 and 84. Okay. And then we need 85, 77, 75, 86, 74 and 87. Right. And then those parts look like they have. Is the 478s?
I believe there are.
Yeah, so all those parts are the same, and 479s. So the shielding parts are just exactly the same for each one.
You might need to clean some of these up.
Yeah, actually. So what we'll do, we'll get these together, these leg parts, and we're back with you in a second. Okay, so there's the parts. And all it is another part that sticks to it. There's no real difficulty with that, it's just like an aesthetic thing. There's one that's together. Doesn't change the angle of the leg, that's fixed as it is. So yeah, so we'll move on. Okay, so 4 of these have been built, and then all you need to do is add on the shield sections. One of them goes on there with the 2 pegs. Like so, there's 2 little corresponding holes there. Just put that on. And then there is the, I don't know if it's a foot or a claw, I don't know what you describe it as. That goes on that little stuck out peg bit there, that oblong peg. And there's a corresponding hole there. So these aren't really positionable either. So that just goes on like so. And then you do that on all 4 legs. Okay, so there's the 4 legs, didn't take very long. The next pieces are 91. Is that one 90?
90, and
90.
the one you've got in your hand is 93.
93, which is the top part. So just these 3 pieces. Just needs a little bit of cleaning up.
Yeah.
Okay, so 91 and 90, they got together like that. It goes any way around, it doesn't seem to have a specific way. Then the legs need to fit into those bits, is that correct? I think. Yeah, so it needs to go in like that. Okay. And those bits you don't glue. This will be the fun part where I've got to put 4 of these on at the same time. I'm going to need another set of hands for this.
Okay.
Okay, so probably have to turn the camera off for this bit.
Yeah.
Back in a second. Okay, it's extremely fiddly that bit.
Yeah.
You're going to get all 4 legs to defy gravity while you put that middle bit on. There you go. So
you might want to get someone to help you with that one.
just hold on to it while you position it. Once you're in, you're in. That's it. So those are the leg pieces. So the next bit on this thing is 92, 88 and 92, which is like a, don't know what this bit is, where it's a bit, I think it might be the bit that, because all these little piston bits need to connect to something, I think it might be that bit. And then the bit, the turret part will go on top of it by the looks of it. So that's 88, is it?
Yeah.
Cool, let's look at that. Okay, so those first 2 bits, those 92s, just slot in either side. There is an upside down and a right way up, round way, because it's like a sort of like very inclined shaped wedge that's in there. So then,
You need the dome.
the dome. It's not what you just called it. But that's it's the dome.
I was being nice for the camera, shall we say.
Okay. If you put 2 of these onagers together at the same time, you might get an idea of what Clare said.
If you had 2 of them, you'd get an idea.
Yeah. If you had 2 onagers and you put them together at exactly the same time, you'd have 2 of these parts at the same time.
Side by side.
Yeah. Have a good look at them, see what you think. Right. So that bit goes onto this bit. And there's 2 little archways there, which it should plug into. Which it does, very easily, in fact. Make gluing. There we go, so I can go either way around that bit. So you end up with this little bit of a peg coming out, and you've got the rest. Let's check I've done that right. That's right. Cool. Right, so I presume that will go on top of there, and there's a little cut out bit. A little cut out bit there, which that peg should fit into, in theory. And that is the next stage. Which is this bit, which is 2A and 2B. And then we go on to these bits here, which aren't glued for some reason. Find out. 94 and 54. And it looks like there are 4 of them each. And that should finish off the base part. Okay, so these bits are optional extras. If you look at the picture on the back of the box, you can see them on there attached to the bottom claw type pincers. It's kind of like a, don't know what you call it,
like a landing pod.
Yeah, like maybe like a desert adaptation.
Yeah.
For like snow or desert. But the front box one does not have them on. So it's definitely optional. There is an optional cog in the instructions. And if you want to put them on, what it looks like you do is you fit them onto those bits there. And one of these snapped when I was trying to clean it off as well, so they're quite brittle. So that bit just fits in there, like so. And then you have the little landing foot, or whatever it is.
Right.
There. And that literally just goes on like that. needs to go on the front of it though. Like so. There we go. On the other side. Like that.
And then I think that.
And that bit more than just
slide in.
Slide into there, like so. So I presume we glue that bit on.
I would assume so. Although it doesn't say to glue it on.
What do we think? Are we putting these on or not? Do we like the pinsert or do we like the landing foot better? Hard to tell that.
It's hard to say,
it makes it
really.
look more mechanical by putting it on. But it's look more mechanical-y. But at the same time it looks a bit creepier without it.
It does, it looks more skittery.
Yeah, it looks a bit quicker without it, I'd say. It's a hard one. I like both ideas. So you either end up with one that's got these mechanical add-ons, or one that isn't, and it's just more claw-like.
Personally, I say more claw-like.
Yes. I like them both. But I think Dark Mechanicum, claw-like, because
it's more creepy, like you're saying, the skitter.
Yeah. I think I was going to do like Riser, like it's in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
I think I'd definitely put the thing on because it was more mechanical then. So if I was doing Mechanicum, I would definitely put them on. But because I'm doing dark, I want them to look a bit skittier, a bit less. That just makes it look more like a foot. If you like a Dreadnought's foot or something like that, it makes it look a bit more normal, if you will.
Yeah, it looks more something more that you'd shoot from the sky and land.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of looks. Do you know? Yeah, it kind of makes it look like Star Warsy. There's like a Geonosian type on the Geonosian battle from Attack of the Clones. There's like a walker and that kind of looks. It's got those kind of clamps on it, I think, from memory. If anyone knows what it's called or knows what I'm on about, please put it in the comments. But yeah, it's difficult. I was going to stick them on so you can see what it like with them on, but I think I prefer it with them off actually for the Dark Mechanical. I wanted to make it look a bit skittery. So you won't see it with them on when it's finished, but you can get an idea what it might look like from there and from the back of the box art. Pretty easy to attach. Those bits just attach either side, like I said, and then the foot goes on. So it wouldn't be difficult to put on. I'm going to leave them off. I've decided. Dark Mechanicum. Leaving them off. Make it look skittery and a bit less normal, if you will. Yeah, there we go. So that's the base part done, and now we want to move on to the turret, which is part 3 in the instructions, and that's part 31, 30 and 30... Sorry,
63.
Sorry, 31, 30 and 63 even. 63 being the base. And then we put the front part on, which is 18, the back part, which is 69, and we end up with a piece like that. That looks like a pretty standard fit together, a bit like the turret from the back of the Orc battle wagon. Yeah, it shouldn't be too difficult. I'll get to this stage and I'll let you know if there's any problems. Okay, so there's the turret part together. Did just fit together. There's little pegs, like slots in the bottom part of the base. It just slots in. There's a bit of an overlap, you can see there. That's well meant to be there. That's kind of how it goes on. And we have this bit at the back, huge hole at the top. So the next part is to cover that with part 9, which is the roof. And then we have a bunch of ladder pieces by the looks of it, 29, 28, 27, 26 and 25. So we'll put them on in sequence. Okay, so there's the roof on, and those are the holes where the handlebars will go for the ladder. So we'll get them off in sequence now, and I'll be a bit boring this bit, so I'll just skip ahead. Okay, so there you go. Those are the stairs parts on, the ladder, if you will. So we move on to the what looks like the engine part, 24 and 23. 45 and 46, 47 and 44. looks like those bits all go on next. It's pretty straightforward. So I'll stick them on. It looks like the engine will fit into that hole at the back. I shall let you know if it's any different.
Right, I'm having a bit of a problem here, right? You said you want 24.
Yeah? Alright.
That can't be 24.
Right.
You got 24 there.
Okay.
And 24 is...
So that is a little run that goes
on the other side.
This bottom side there.
I believe what you want is that one.
Oh, 22. Sorry. Okay. Right.
Yeah?
Okay.
Wrong.
Oh well, 22.
Not your fault.
I just feel like I've been told off though. Crikey.
Person who wrote these guidelines
Right.
is being told off. Proofread.
Okay. I'm gonna go now. I'm back when it's on and safe. Okay, so there's the 22 and 23 together. There's a little mechanical symbol on there. I may have to take that off and replace it with something diabolical. We'll stick it on for now. It goes on there. And there's a little peg which coincides with it. So it's fairly straightforward to put on. Like so. Took a second. There we go. And now we have the little run, little ladder, which has disappeared. Where's it gone?
Are we done with it?
There it is. Couldn't see it. It is. And that bit goes on this side, there at the bottom. And then we have the engine pieces which stick together. And goes on like that. Which parts are these?
47 and 44.
So it's just like two little bits of engine. So they need sticking together and cleaning up a bit. Those two bits. And there's a corresponding one on the other side.
Which will need a bit of cleaning up as well.
Okay. So it's just the funnel end that sticks
It's
to
like an exhaust pipe, isn't it?
So it goes like that, but there's a bit of flash and that'll need cleaning off. A bit of sprue. And then there's one on the other side, like you said.
Let's hope they don't lead to anywhere important, like the core of the actual walker itself, you know.
You can feel like a bolt the shell up there and blow it up.
Yeah.
So that's the one that goes on this side, is that correct?
Yes.
There's a little half moon type. Half moon? Not really. I've seen it a bit closer. It doesn't look anything like a moon or a half moon.
That's no moon.
There's no moon. I wasn't even leading up to that though. That goes on there like that, and there's a little notch at the top which fits into that sort of rail at the back, like so. So then the other one goes on the other side. So there's the two exhausts on. There we go. And then we have these bits here, which are like canisters of some type. 14 and 15, then we have like some wiring that goes at the back, and that all goes underneath this thing. There we go. So we'll get them on, see if there's any problems.
That is 14.
So those go now like that. They're actually headlights, not canisters. So that's what they look like. Then we've got, what, 32?
Yes, 32.
Which is this little wire bit there. That seems to go on to those two big circles in the middle, I would say. I'd a guess. Best guess, let's just see if they fit. It does fit. So that's where it's going. There's a lot of other holes around it.
Yeah, you've got 48 and 33 next.
So that'll go in the middle like so.
That's number 48.
48. Okay.
And that one's 33, so 48 seems to go this
Right
side
next to it.
of it,
Yeah.
and 33 goes the other side of it.
Okay. Okay, so those are the different holes we've got there. So it looks like, yeah. So this next one goes, this one's 99, is it? No, we're on 48.
48, sorry.
The wrong one. That goes in the hole behind that cable, to the back, to the one that's next to the front, which I'll show you. Like so. There you go. So you've still got the two holes at the top, and then the next one goes on the other side of it, if I'm looking at the right thing.
Yeah, it seems to do.
So that'll go on the hole furthest to the back as well, and the one that's about in the middle, that cable. It's not really a hole, it's just kind of a cut out bit. The tweezers will be useful here. There we go. So it goes like that. So then the next bit is 99.
That was 99.
Which will go right at the top part there, from where it is on the camera. Yeah. Some tweezers would definitely be helpful with this.
Well, there's some tweezers in there.
There you go. That goes at the top like that.
And there is 98. Do you want the tweezers?
No. It takes too much effort just to reach over and grab them. If it all went wrong, then I'd want the tweezers.
Okay.
There you go. So that bit goes at the bottom, like so. So they all need to dry, and then we have the turret part, which is 6 and 72. And sort of turret, sort of like a, don't know what you call them. The bit where the guy, is it the bit where the guy comes out, or is it just like a? I'll see in a second. It's those bits there.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. 6 is that bit there. 72 is that bit there. So those bits just pegging. Should be pretty easy. Hey, so put that on there. Like that. There you go. Just like a handlebar, if you will. And that bit goes. Turn that bit over. On there. This hole. Just that. So I'm not sure what this bit counts as.
It seems a bit too small to like have the guy coming out of it.
You can hardly fit your head out of it.
No.
Especially all the cables and stuff they got, they really have to squeeze into that. So.
It must be for something else, perhaps.
There you go. There it is on. It does look like something to grip onto though, but hey ho. Let's move on. So we've got the antennae part next, which goes there. Right, so that's what fits into it. Looks like we've got optionals as well. We've got a little radar dish. And we've got a whole bunch of stuff we can stick in here. We've got like an antennae, a bit like off the back of this guy. There we go, a bit like off the back of that one. And then we've got a radar dish, which is pretty cool. And then we've got like a 3-eye thing, which also looks pretty cool. And they all attached to part 4. Interesting. I think the eyes, because they look the creepiest. Going with the dark mechanical theme. Though I think if I was doing mechanical, I might go with the radar dish because that looks cool.
fairness, the eyes look very much like Nurgle.
Yeah, oh yes. Look at that, simple Nurgle, just there. No doubt now, that's definitely the one that's going on. Like I said though, if I do Riser,
you'll have the little satellite dish.
Yeah.
So they can get Sky TV.
Yeah, if you can afford to. There we go. This is perfect for Nurgle. Look. This bit down there. And there's a little bit that goes on there, like so, in the back. It's like hollow at the back. And that clips onto, well, glues onto that bit there. So you have that, like so. And that bit goes onto here, which is the bit we've just done. So it goes in there. Just to glue that a bit on. There's a little peg at the bottom. Little peg at the bottom goes onto that little sort of gap at the top. Like so. Basically falling over. So now we move on to the weapon stage. This is where we pick which weapon we want. Okay, so I'm going to have a look at this and see what options I've got, and I should be right back with you. Okay, so we need to build this part first, which is like the barrel section that goes onto the side of it. That's 2, 1 and 3 just stuck together, so I'm going to do that and I'll be back with you. Okay, so there's the barrel section together. There is one side's got 2 little slots on which connects to that bit, one side's got 1 little slot and it connects to that bit. And then that bit will obviously go into the side bit on there. So we have 4 weapons options now. Hi, I'm back after a little bit of a break to decide what to do. Came up with an idea after looking at the weapons and which bits go where. So we're going to have them all. I'll show you what I've done. So starting with the, is it Eradicator? There you go, you just stick it together as normal. Using this part 17, which I'll show you. Bring it on the camera. Part 17 there. That's part 17. Which doesn't duplicate with the other guns. Put a pin in the back of that, which is in line with where the gun connects to it. I did drill 2 holes, you can probably see the other one, maybe not, in the bottom, but I didn't need it, so I just have that 1 hole with a pin in it. Quite a long pin, so that's that one. Then we have, I'll go to E now, which is the neutron cannon. Same thing, stick it together as normal. That gets its own backing as well, that one there, which is the light stuck on it as well. You can see I've stuck the light on to each one. And that is basically a case of filling that with green stuff and then gluing a pin in because it's hollow and it's got quite a big, sort of, it's bigger than the pin, put it that way, and you need quite a small pin to do the next bit. Well, brass rod, shall we say. Standard brass rod sized. Okay, the C and D both use part 16. You can see that on there, part 16 is there. So, in order to get both of these, you can either choose to do one or the other and just do what you've done with that. If you don't want to do all the adaptations, it's up to you. But if you do want to have them both, the best way to do it without using tiny magnets, which I've run out of, because if I had the tiny magnets, I'd probably just use them. And that would be pretty straightforward. Drill a hole, put a magnet in. And this is cheaper as well, if you're bothered about cost. What you do is you stick that together as normal. That's the phosphor cannon. Just put a pin in the top one of those because it only needs 1. And it did actually split the 2 sides apart again when I was doing it, so I had to file it back down so it would fit in. Show it in a second. The 2 autocannons, each one of them. Now be very careful when you're doing this. You want to make sure your surface is flat on there, all the flash is taken off. Because if you slip with the drill, that's probably it. You probably have to pick one or the other and stick them together. Same with that one. Okay. And then you've got your part 16 there, like so. And then you've got your barrel bit, which I showed you before. And what I've done with that, there's 3 pinholes in that part. The top and the bottom pinholes are for the Icarus cannon and the, well, just the Icarus cannon actually, because there's only 1 pin in the phosphor gun. Is it phosphorus gun or whatever it says? Phosphor blaster, there we go. And then fill that with green stuff, or whatever you want. You know, whatever cheap putty you've got. Green stuff is a bit of a waste, but there we go. Again, that's all I've got to hand at the moment. Bang a magnet in there. And then you could just use a piece of metal on the opposite side of this if you've got it, but I've put a magnet in just for security. That is the covering panel, which goes with 3 of the guns, all the ones apart from the Icarus. So that will just slip on to there, like so. So that's 3 of the guns done for the side. The Icarus cannon attachment with all the missiles on, here it is. It's a pretty cool little bit, this actually. It optional open and closed. There you go. It's very cool. It's like a massive missile launcher. Again, I've just packed that with green stuff. It's shiny because I've glued it and sprayed it with this stuff, this Army Painter Magic, just to speed up the drying process of the glue. Just to keep the magnet in, because the magnets are pretty powerful and they'll pop out really easily. So that again just slips onto there. So that's the outside bit done there. So you can change them round. So these guns, so if you want, for instance, the neutron gun, all you do is grab that. That goes in the centre hole there. You just push the pin onto that, into place, like so. There it is. Put on your exterior bit, like so. There it goes, magnetised on. Then that would just go onto there, and that gun's done. If you want to change it, say to the eradication cannon, that's really easy. Pull that out, like so. That goes in exactly the same hole. I think that wasn't dry. Or just the railing parts of it. And that just slips on as well. There you go, so that's that gun. The phosphor gun, there it is. What you need to do is keep this bit separate, this part 16. Just put on the light. That itself doesn't actually glue or stick on. You're relying on the pin from this to keep that in place. So all you have to do is push that on, like so. There you go. So there's the phosphor gun. And then for the Icarus cannon, which is the most complicated one, put that back, take that side off, flipped up, and put that on last. So the part 16 goes on, like the other one. So you got the bottom and the top drill holes that you've put in. Just measure these multiple times before you drill them, and then I drilled them while this was on. And for the other one I used a pen actually, because it'll go through and it'll mark where the spot is. So then these two just push into those pegs. One there. And this top one was a little bit off centre when I did it, so it was a little more difficult to go together, but there you go. And then you just get the Icarus missiles. There we go. Put them on the side. Job's done. There you go. So you got all 4 of the weapon options. If that's a bit out of line, you just need to bend it, because the pin inside just needs to bend into shape. So they'll eventually, you'll probably get one that's more for the top and one that's more for the bottom, but it should be pretty obvious which. You'll get used to it. Or you can even mark them somehow. There we go. So that's how you magnetise and pin. It's a bit cheaper using the pins than just all the magnets, because magnets aren't cheap, you know, when you buy them. I go through them like nobody's business. So that's the guns. I've got all 4 options, so I'm going to put them to one side and I'm going to continue with the rest of the tank. So I hope that's been helpful.
We did notice there was some issues with the instructions. On the Icarus cannon.
One?
Yeah, that's the first one. It says 38 and 37. Actually should be 67 and 64.
Yeah.
And also here, this little bar that goes onto the side, it says 88, but it should actually be 55.
Right.
So it took me a while to figure out that, because there was a bar and I thought, is that it or is that not it?
But that gun's fine. Those scribbles on there are just my scribbles about where to put magnets and stuff, so I ignore them. And that was fine. There's only a few parts.
Yeah.
And the other gun, the neutron gun, which is the coolest sounding gun in the whole universe, I think. I have a neutron gun. What? That's fine as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So now we're moving on to the next bit. Yep. Guess number 20. That is this little hatch piece, which goes on top of there. So that goes on there, I like that. There you go. With those sides pointing down, it just fits into place. The next part, those holes in the top. Part 13, is it? Oops, yep. Sorry about that. I'm knocking the camera a bit. Are these little pegs?
Yeah.
Like so. And they just go in short side down into those gaps, those 4 gaps at the top. So I'll do that. Okay, so there they are, the 4 pieces in. Dead simple, no problem with that. Next is part 12, is it? Mm-hmm. Okay. And that goes on there next to the ladder. Oh, top ladder rungs come down for some reason. Shut back into place. Right, so next to the top part of the ladder, there's 2 little holes. And that's where part 12 goes. Which is this bit. It goes in pointing up by the looks of it. Like so. There you go. So what's next? Part 21. Which is like a hand railing, which goes on top of all those little things. Yep, should be straightforward. Just put a little dot of glue on each of them. Why nothing? There you go. And just goes on there. So, next, these bits that I thought were headlights at the front aren't. They're actually the parts that the little claw things bits go on. I think it's the bit that repairs them. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. It's like a fabricator thing, you know, can repair the vehicle as it's going along. Kind of like the thing Tech Marines have on the back, and Tech Priests. So it's 80 and 5 and 82 and 5, and they go onto these front parts. Cool. I should put them on. Okay, so there is the 2 attachments, which look really cool and menacing. But there are actually optional headlights. I'm not a complete idiot. There we go. There's some on there. Which
Part number 11.
Part number 11. Which actually shows them that greyed out piece there. So they are headlights. I was right. But I've used them because they look cool, more menacing. So, next, the option of either putting a guy coming out of it or not. And I've thought about this and I'm not going to do it. Because I still have the thought of like demonic machines being possessed by things. So the crew themselves have sort of melded with the machine completely. So he's not going to be able to come out like that. So I'm just going to go for a hatch downwards with the little 7 part that looks like a little periscope thing. And then I will put a stubber on, but I'll have it with the handle on, so it's like, you know, but I'll sort of ready. Do you think I put the stubber on? Think it'll look good?
Yeah, I think it'd look interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe there is a still guy in there, maybe there isn't still a guy in there, you know, you never know. Maybe that gun's just hanging there for ages. So let's do that. So that is part 19, which is just a hatch with the part on top to put the periscope on. And part 7 will go on top of that. Looks pretty good underneath as well, because you've got the underneath detail, if I do leave it open. Which is cool. And also if you do leave it open, you've got all that detail in there as well. If I was doing it mechanical, I would probably leave it open, to be fair. Because all the dark things I might do to this later, I'm going to shut it. There we go. On there like that. And then this bit goes on the top. So I'll get back to you once this and the stubber are done. Okay, so there's a heavy stubber together, 96-97 for the handles. It's one cool looking heavy stubber with that sight on it. Wow. And that has a little thing there which just goes and fits on, because it's at an angle, onto that railing, which is there. So I should just put that on somehow. There we go. So I have it like that, so it's like pointing down. Is that okay?
Mhm.
Cool. There we go. Cool, so what's next?
Next is sticking the whole thing together.
Yay!
And sticking it to the base.
Yay! So, right, so there we go. Just put the two parts together, which is top and bottom. Here we go. This is the base. So, does this go anywhere in particular? Does it say?
I believe it does. I think it's just you position it where you want it to go.
Doesn't really give any indication, does it?
No.
I mean, again, you could magnetise that if you wanted to, and have it so you could move it around, but no real need. That looks good.
Hmm?
Well, yeah, we'll glue that in place. So yeah, what have you thought about this kit so far?
It's quite a nice little kit actually. The sprue's quite tidy and straightforward, which is better than some that I've seen cut out for you.
So it is.
Yeah, it's quite a cool little kit. It's quite a cool little model actually.
I like it, and there's quite a few options with it you can do to personalise it. When it's dry, that will go on there, like so. It just locks into place like the turret on a Lehman Russ tank or a Devilfish's back engines. That is basically it. So once it's dried, I'll be back with you in a second, and then I'll stick it to its base as well, shall we? No, I'm actually going to leave it off so I can paint the base bit separately.
Yeah.
But I'll be back in a second when it's all dry. Okay, so there you go, there's the final product. Dry now. I did put a bit of green stuff in the middle of the base just to cover that sort of indentation you get in the base. It's going to be quite a scenic looking one when it's done. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with that. I'm not quite sure I'm going to do the base on the Dark Mechanicum yet. I don't know whether to use that new Martian Earth or to go for something more Nurgle-esque. I've already done Nurgle.
I think you should try that new Martian Earth. I think
I'm tempted to. I'd like to see what it looks like, especially against green cloaks and stuff, red and green.
Could you not put some of that green paint? Pus. Like, I
could do. I could try and
you know,
work
in
that
the
in
cracks.
somewhere. Yeah, sort of bubbling up to the surface. Could do that. Cool. Yeah, might do that. Might do that. It's a good idea, actually. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've seen some ideas on how to, use multiple weapons if you hadn't got your ideas. To be honest, pretty straightforward in a way, the conversion. Not really conversion, but the adding of multiple weapons. There you go. just used a few pins, a few drills, a little bit of time just to plan it out. And 3 magnets. Technically you only need 1 magnet. If you've got 2 like bits of metal you can put on the other sides of those. So it's quite a cheap little add-on. It's better than buying 4 of them.
Yeah.
Bit of brass rod and the magnet, or 2 or 3 in this case, is a lot cheaper than buying 4 of these guys. Even though 4 of these guys would be awesome, because I think they're cool. A cool little model. I'm very impressed.
It is, actually. It's a nice little model, very compact. And
I do like it.
yeah.
Yes. So the next part will be to convert it to chaos. Sorry, dark mechanical. Same thing.
Cool.
Not quite sure what I'm going to do with that yet. If anyone's got any ideas, please put them, in the post at the bottom of what I can do to change that. I'll probably put some pustules on it, like the other stuff I'm doing. But yeah, that's cool. So the next time you'll see this is probably doing a conversion video. I might do the vehicles at the same time, which is that and oops, knocking that paint over. That and this guy. So there's the height as well compared to the Iron Strider. Cool. So if you haven't seen the other dark mechanical video I've done so far, which is the Rangers being converted up, please check that out. And there'll be a painting video soon, just as soon as I get time. Been a bit hectic recently, and there's a lot on, if you will. So trying to get to do stuff for the channel. Yeah.
Things are getting pushed back a little bit.
Continually. So that's life though, isn't it? Keep pushing your hobby back further and further.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit here and whinge about that. So, please join us next time for the Dark Mechanical videos. This is the last of the unboxings for the Mechanical. Next week we're getting the Elder Codex and the cards.
And the cards, yes.
Haven't decided whether we can afford the bikes yet or not. We have spent a lot on Games Workshop stuff if you've been watching these videos.
Yeah, and box games as well.
Yes, and obviously Armada came out this month.
Yes, and X-Wing.
And X-Wing.
And Imperial Assault.
Yeah.
We went a bit mad this month.
Yeah. Basically.
A little bit.
Yeah, so currently I'm also painting my dwarves, which are going to get pushed back behind these guys because I want to get these guys done. So then it'll be to dwarves.
Yeah, I'm still on my Wraith
Blood Wraith Mud. Yeah.
But again, I'm not getting round to getting them painted up.
Yeah.
So I've been on them for about 3 weeks now.
Yeah. So yeah. So but we all hit these blocks, from time to time.
Yeah.
And the rest of the time we can pour out a Scave now, in 4 weeks. So, swings and roundabouts. You don't want to burn yourself out.
No.
That's my key as well. Don't burn yourself out. So brilliant. So thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope we haven't rambled on too much at the end about nonsense. And please like and subscribe. It helps out loads if you do that. And join us again next time.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.